Hi, I'm Karlena with Story Runners, and I want to tell you about the impact that your prayers and your giving are having. About this time last year, we were doing a school storying project in East Africa where people are persecuted for their faith. Well, a couple months later, we followed this school storying project up with a church planning training, and I was able to go. And there I met a man named Nupi. Nupi was a quiet man, and he was one of the people that helped to produce the oral Bible stories. And he was so faithful in using those stories, he had started 2 groups. But he told me at the end of that training that he felt God calling him to go where there are no churches and no believers and use the stories to plant a church. Well, I didn't hear anything else about Nupi. And a few months later, we were back in the same country and we were doing another story set for a people group that are highly resistant to the gospel. And we thought, how are we going to follow this training up with a church planning training? Well, then I heard about Nupi. Nupi had been going and meeting with tribal leaders of this people group because he could speak their language. And he was using the stories that were developed. And now God is opening the door for us to have a church planning training for these people groups. With Nupi and people like you and story runners together, we are reaching those who are waiting to hear God's story.